Hey friends, today I'm reviewing the 2024 horror drama Hold Your Breath. So this movie was kind of slow, but my girl Sarah Paulson was in it, so I had to give it a watch. She's killing it as Carr on All's Fair, and of course I've loved her in every season of American Horror Story. Sarah has this homely, grounded look that really worked for her role here. She was playing a mother in the 1930s Midwest, so her aesthetic fit perfectly. She plays Margaret, a mother of 3 daughters who decides to stay behind with the girls while her husband Henry goes off to work. Honestly, I don't understand why Henry agreed to that, considering they already lost one of their daughters when Margaret was ill, but he did. Margaret's argument was that she didn't want to leave her oldest daughter's grave alone. Later in the movie, we learn she's not even allowed to sleep in the same room as Rose and her other daughter, so Henry clearly knew something was wrong and still left her with the kids. This whole setup reminds me of people acknowledging postpartum depression exists, yet moms who are overwhelmed often end up harming their children because no one takes their mental health seriously. I know this movie is set in the past when men had to travel far to provide, but here we are almost 100 years later and still dealing with similar issues. A man can see his wife unraveling and still keep having kids with her, leaving her to cope alone instead of stepping in or getting help. I'm not saying that to blame men at all. I'm only stating it this way because in this particular movie, the whole town knows Margaret isn't okay. She's struggling to keep it together, taking sleeping pills to stop hallucinations and sleepwalking. Then there's her sister, Esther, who loses her oldest son. The sheriff takes her younger, she didn't lose her son, he passed. The sheriff takes her younger son, Thomas, away because she can't pull herself together to care for him while grieving her older son. There's a powerful scene where Esther is banging on the car windows and screaming at Margaret that she's going to end up just like her, losing her kids. It kind of hints that whatever is ailing them might even be hereditary. The catalyst for everything is Brother Wallace hiding out in Margaret's barn. He saves her cows, he stops Rose's nosebleed, and somehow makes it rain after they've been literally experiencing dust storms every day almost. But then Margaret's husband Henry sent a letter saying the preacher robbed him and hurt his coworker. I never figured out if Wallace was real or a figment of Margaret's imagination. The girls do interact with him, so maybe he's real, or maybe they summoned him after reading about the gray man. I'm not sure. I hate when movies never clarify things. I get that movies are fake and art is open to interpretation, but give me some hard lines, especially if there's not a sequel. The rest of the movie is Margaret slowly unraveling. She stays home with the kids until she feels the town might be talking about her. When she finally goes out in public, she loses it. It kind of makes things worse. She stops sleeping so she can watch the house day and night, terrified that Brother Wallace will return. Honestly, she could have just slept during the day while Rose was awake, because Rose would have woken her up if something happened. She didn't have to literally not sleep. I understand that she's the adult and, wants to keep her kids safe, but she could have got rest. The constant disruptions and issues in the house probably stem from Margaret's lack of sleep. She might even be responsible for all of the disasters, like setting the room on fire with the girls inside. Thankfully, Rose had the sense to question her mother's actions and see if she is the one responsible for the happenings. At the end, we see what's really going on. We get to see things from Rose's perspective. Rose publicly defended her mother, but she knew deep down that Margaret was losing it. Losing her first child broke her, and even though Margaret had more kids, she never recovered. Her obsession with staying close to her deceased daughter ends up hurting her living daughters. I can't imagine that pain. It really made me think about how important it is to identify as more than one thing. We are multifaceted beings, and if we only define ourselves by one role, we drown. Women especially, because we tend to get so caught up in being a wife or a mother that we can't ground ourselves without that title. Even without experiencing something as heinous as outliving a child, women can lose their sense of self and reason for being. So add that kind of grief on top, and it's devastating. This movie is slow, like real slow, but the descent into madness is thrilling. The last 25 minutes are the best part. The movie's only an hour and a half, but I swear it felt longer. That's how slow it was. It felt so long. I'm not mad I watched it, but I doubt I would watch it again. And that's all I got today, friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Bye.